But anyway, y'all, let's talk about it, right? So I want to say this first and foremost. People are asking in the comments, real quick. I'm gonna answer this one question and we're gonna get started. People asking in the comments, how do we get the notifications for the live? Y'all, it drops on the timeline. It also should send you a message and say that your host is live. I will show y'all on mine, but because I am the host slash admin, it doesn't necessarily say it to me because I'm the person initiating the live. But um, it should absolutely say that yeah, you should get an email, you should get a notification, and it should say that your host is going live and say the title of the live, y'all. So I see people asking like, "What's the notification?" That is the notification, y'all. And I typically myself have the team typically. Sometimes I just jump on randomly, but I'll have the team go in and be like, "Hey, y'all, we going live." Woo, woo, woo. So yeah, y'all, like, just want to let y'all know, y'all, uh this is the family banking cartel. I see people saying they can't hear me. I just got a message saying that. Y'all have to refresh or figure out what's going on with your device because there's hella people that's in here now that can hear us for sure. So I know it's not something on my side. Y'all gotta be something on your side. But y'all, notification wise, I think it tells you maybe 3 or 4 different ways when we going live. So y'all, you're actually here. Like somebody hit me yesterday and was like, "Bro, how I join the family banking cartel?" I'm like, "Bro, you know you're messaging an admin with that very name. Like, nigga, you are here. You have arrived." So yeah, y'all, this is it. This is our shit. Like, I can cuss in here. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. I can, show my guns and tell people how to educate themselves and just be free to do whatever the fuck I want to do in here. So you're here. You made it. This is the spot.
So I appreciate that, Royal Ruler. You said if anyone missed a call last night, hit me. I have the notes for you. See, look at that.
Oh, that's hard. Hey, y'all! Shout out to Royal Ruler. That's definitely appreciated, bro. And that's solid of you to even be willing to share those, bro. Salute, bro. Salute. All right, y'all. So look, I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna make it quick. You feel me? So Jake can get on here and do his thing as well. But I do want to apologize because I forgot to like. We basically went over this last night, but I forgot to make it a little more crisp and clear so you guys can. Y'all know I'm big on solutions. I'm big on action steps. Some people said they missed it. Don't trip, y'all. Are you gonna get the whole live? We was on that motherfucker like an hour and some change. No, but I'm finna just basically give you back a replay of what you missed, get more to the point, make it nice, clean, and clear, right? So, for those of you who don't know, the IRS recently put out the tax findings of, I can't even remember sis' name because it's that unimportant to me. But anyway, they put out the tax findings based on her on her intake with donations, her spending, this, that, and the third. So again, I'm not gonna go over the whole conversation again. What I am gonna say is what I've been saying, y'all. Please step out of the realm of being overly self-righteous. A lot of you guys are overly self-righteous on land that is not self-righteous worth the fuck. And if you pay attention to history and the way that our people especially have been bamboozled on a consistent basis, it typically works that way. We come in with this almighty mindset amongst motherfucking wolves and thieves. We come in this bitch thinking about morality. And I'm not saying not to have morality, but I'm telling you gotta adapt to the motherfuckers around you. Otherwise, you either gonna create some distance or you don't gotta be in their world. But if you in their world, you absolutely better adapt or they gonna clean fuck over you. I said all the time, I've been saying it for years. Study the fucking wolves. That's really what it boils down to. A lot of you guys, listen, ongoing shit I see every day. Y'all live in a police state, but you will not take the time to study, research any laws, or figure out how to interact with the fucking police. You live in a country that's built off violence, but you will not take you will not practice preventative maintenance and be like, let me go arm myself, whether it be a blade gun, goddamn pepper spray, stun gun, whatever the case is, because I live in a country that lives by this narrative. Like, this ain't some isolated every once in a while shit. Niggas get shot every fucking day in this country, down to the children, to the adults. Somebody's getting killed by a gun. And if you statistically break it down, especially to the people that look like me, we usually the most affected, the most arrested, all that shit, but the least educated. You feel me? So when I say that, y'all, I'm just saying, if you're gonna be here, you might as well study the land that you live on so you can actually prosper and not be a victim your whole fucking life. And to me, all sis did is she fucking the game the way it should be fucked. She put herself in a position where she had a mass amount of attention. She figured out how to leverage that attention into money. And then she then took that money and finagled that shit the same way that the wolves do to put her family in a better position, keep Uncle Sam out her pocket, so forth and so on. So I'm gonna give y'all these 4 steps, and then I'm gonna pass it to Jay, right? Number 1, right? 4 takeaways from the Black Lives Matter situation. Number 1, y'all, stop counting that lady pockets and go get you some fucking money. So rather than sit there and add up how many millions she made, why don't you study the plays she made, figure out how you can implement the same for your family, and get off with a nice clean bag. Like, congratulate the lady. You feel me? Like I said last night, y'all, the shit overdue. Somebody in our culture need to be fucking the government of or getting some motherfucking free money and finessing the system. We only been doing it wrong for like 200 years. You feel me? So again, once you get out your bag about sis getting the bag, I want you to go study her moves though, because that you can't deny. You say whatever the fuck you want to say about the movement, this and that, but those people have figured out a way to harness hundreds of millions of dollars and then motherfucking direct it play by play, step by step, to benefit their families, to benefit their movement, and to benefit their fucking pockets, real estate portfolios, all that. Number 2, this is what I want you to do. I want you to create a plan of action and execute at all costs. I know that sounds like basic, right? But a lot of y'all don't have that in you. You're not gonna execute at all costs. Month 2, you're gonna come up with a reason not to get that shit done. Week number 3, you're gonna come up, oh, my head hurt, I'm tired. Oh man, I just, everything falling off. I can't make no money. See, ain't nobody buying my shit. Ain't nobody hearing me. Ain't nobody supporting me. Motherfuckers be having every excuse in the world. This lady created a movement and finessed a gang of motherfuckers out of hundreds of millions of dollars. If she can do that, my friend, you could definitely come up with a motherfucking idea that's gonna net your family $5,000 more a month and get y'all out of the trenches that y'all currently in. Too much free money. We living in a digital era. It's a bag on every corner and every motherfucking swipe on your cell phone, right? I want you to create a plan of action and execute that bitch at all costs. So when you start thinking like, what if, and you start tricking yourself out of the thought process of, man, I don't know if this is right. People be getting in trouble for this. That's cool to address that, right? Yeah, trouble may be lurking based on what you're doing. But your next step is to go find the loopholes that the motherfuckers that's been doing what you attempting to do, been using for the last 100 years. I said it, I'm gonna say it again, y'all. The rules are for the poor and the lazy. The poor people cannot afford to invest in the type of information that's gonna get them the loopholes. And the lazy motherfuckers rather just complain and never do shit about it because it's just easier to be a victim. You feel me? So I want you to go play the game at a similar rate. When you get done hating on sis bag, I want you to identify how she got that bag. And I want you to watch play by play what she did with that bag and implement the same shit for your family. One more time, y'all. Study the rules. Rules are made for lazy motherfuckers and broke motherfuckers. Next one. I really already said this one, y'all. Study the rules all the while. So when you get money and power, you know exactly how to leverage it. See, a lot of y'all will get a bag tomorrow, but the only thing you know to do with money is either spend or save it. That's your 2 extremes. I'm either gonna blow this shit or I'm gonna hide this shit. So you guys listen, I dare you to make it a mandatory and a non-negotiable for your family that at minimum y'all gotta know 6 different things to do with money. You feel me? Step your fucking game up. Like you running with a basic ass mindset and wondering why like you live a basic ass life. Bro, you done had a job 20 years, you've been hustling 20 years, you done had 36 come ups, but you still got the same amount of buying power. It ain't nothing wrong with your money, it's something wrong with your mindset. So I urge you all, go find, we ain't got to do 6, y'all. Go find 3 to 5 things you can do with money besides save it and spend it. Because that's all most people know. I'm going to hide it or I'm finna buy some shit. Next one. Put your people in position. Keep the money at one table and stimulate your inner economies. So while people talking shit about, oh, she paid her baby daddy $970,000 for creative services, that's what she supposed to do. She's supposed to create a layer of tax barriers, because if she doesn't, the government gonna take the shit. I'm not saying I ain't mad at her at all. Excuse me. I'd rather hit my baby mama with an M for creative services than to give that shit to Uncle Sam because I ain't know what the fuck to do with it. Correct. You realize there's some of y'all that's really like judging and ridiculing that lady because she's smarter than your ass is with bread. Because you would have got the bag, bought some fly shit, and gave the rest to Uncle Sam. No, she is literally a tax barrier, right? So this lady's setting up 2 to 3, maybe 4 barriers before the government even get their hands on her hard-earned money. I put a quotation on hard-earned. It was donation, but whatever. That shit's still marketing. She had to market it to make it look good for people to buy into it, period, right? So again, put your people in position. Keep the money at one table. Stimulate your inner economies, right? And I'm gonna tell you, that's something I'm big on. I've been sharing shit like that with y'all for years. The example that I always give y'all is that I got on first, right? When I say I got on like to the big leagues, like getting a big old bag. I'm knowing this and that. I double back, I hit my daddy, double back. I retired my mom in 2018, right? She's been a teacher for like 13, 14 years at that point. Retire her, and then I rehire her to be a teacher to her grandchildren / nanny. So at this point, rather than like me getting that bag and doing other things with it, I'm stimulating my mama economy first. So before Uncle Sam get a motherfucking thing, I'm gonna be counting my mama as a business expense because she's on my payroll. You get how we doing that? Like I could have one-stop shop. Oh, I got money. And then Uncle Sam pull up like, yeah, well, give me a whole bunch of that. But no, I'm gonna put moms in position first. So that's another layer. Some of y'all can like put y'all children on y'all taxes and get that tax credit. Now you're talking about 2 layers. I double back then. I hit my pops. He retired Secret Service. I hit my pops. I'm like, hey, let's get an FFL, open up a gun business. I bought too many guns as is. We might as well make a business of it. Not only do I offset my expenses by investing in that, but then we create Grace Private Security. So like my security team happens to be my actual relatives that got their licenses and qualifications and permits from my daddy, who's retired Secret Service, who got grandfathered in by ATF anyway. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm painting for you a whole motherfucking spider web of how we leveraging each other's skill sets to make paper. Like, I like guns. I got a lot of money. You come from an industry that know a lot about know a lot about guns, and you get access to gun permitting and all that ATF business with a breeze. Okay, cool. Let's merge, and we're gonna continue to keep the money at one fucking table before it hits Uncle Sam's hand. And y'all can give y'all a bunch of examples like that, but I'm just giving you the one with mom and pops, right? So let me keep going. Next one. Study the tax game and buy a professional. When I say buy a professional, if you don't want to learn the tax game, like I'm one of the people, I'm absolutely not going to do it. So I'm going to get a CPA and I'm gonna make that their business because that's their role and that's what the fuck they do, right? So study the tax game or buy a professional. Once you're done only spending the money at y'all table, find even more ways to fuck the system and keep your bread out of their hands. So that is when like I read it to y'all. This is actually in the in-home banking curriculum. I don't remember which volume because it's like 3 or 4. But I wrote about like the super rich. One of their main focuses is avoiding taxes. They are like 10 to 20 year thinkers. One of their main focuses is how can I avoid taxes? People on the other side be thinking like, oh, damn, I'm ready to get my taxes. And I say it's not nothing wrong with that, y'all, because everybody not meant to be head honcho and the boss. But I'm just speaking of the mindset, right? You got a demographic of people who learn about how to evade them shits legally. And then you got a demographic of people who are looking for a savior, so they can't wait to get that motherfucker in their hand, because that's going to be their one-time come up. They're going to get this shit. You feel me? So again, study the tax game or buy a professional. Once you are done only spending the money at y'all tables, I need you to find more ways to fuck the system. And the point of that is like, Sis and Black Lives Matter lady was paying for grants. They said she invested $30 million of the money into stocks. I can't remember how many millions went into real estate. You feel me? Like if you paying attention and you understand like just a little bit about the tax game and how to offset expenses, the lady giving you like the rundown and showing you exactly what you do when you get a bag. So like I said, y'all, this is the last one I'm gonna give. Man, when you get done hating on sis and being weird about another nigga wins and success, I think you should really take notes. You feel me? Because she's showing niggas in real time how you get on the same nonprofit organizations, grants. Like, yeah, I guarantee you, if they backdate the grants gonna be people that you probably all got personal ties to some way or another. But that is how you fucking do it. Y'all favorite president, you know, the president that all y'all favorite musicians are telling y'all to vote for. That man passed laws for his peoples. He passes laws where he has interest at. It make fucking sense. Like Jake said this shit the other day on the call. He was like, how y'all be trying to save the world and they save y'all families? You feel me? By and showing niggas, bro, like, hey, these my niggas, bro. I hear y'all, but these my niggas right here. So this is where my interest is. You feel me? Still showing y'all the same thing. That's why I say, y'all, I see the shit totally different. I am proud of her. I salute her. We talking about $100+ million. And she motherfucking finesse queen around this bitch and showing y'all how you wash that money, position it like this. And the government probably gonna fuck around and get maybe 10 million from that lady if that. They're gonna fuck around. Then she gonna fuck around, throw them a 10 piece and call it like, nigga, I hit 90. Of course you got that bitch ass 10. And then she gonna repeat the process. And I'm gonna tell you too, one last thing I'm gonna say, y'all. Don't give energy to things you want dead. Because the fact that y'all like keep reposting her and trying to clown her, you only making her bigger. You feel me? Like, you're not getting paid to be a hater, but she's definitely going to get paid when more and more people find interest in her movement and want to invest. And people who actually understand the game, because a lot of y'all don't understand the fucking game. Y'all personalize. One last thing I'm gonna say, y'all. Stop personalizing this system. This shit was made way before you. You feel me? Don't take it personal, bro. Like, they supposed to try to take you out by 18. They supposed to put you in impoverished situations. This game was never built with you in mind. So stop personalizing that shit. Get in player mode, you feel me, and go play the game for what it is. But salute the sis. She playing the fuck out of the game. And yeah, shit, if I ever bump into her, I'm gonna definitely ask her how. Like, shit, nigga, set me up a nonprofit. I'm trying to get 50 million.
So, and here's the thing here,
I'm gonna hire my neighbor.
When I was, I'm gonna give y'all a quick story. I remember when I was like 8 years old, and I was playing my uncle / brother, Derrick. He's like 5 years older than me, so that's why I call him uncle / brother. But I was playing my uncle Derrick in Madden. I was like 8 years old, and he was whooping my ass. I'm talking about he knew how to do audibles. He knew how to, like the little bunt kick on the kickoff, and then he was literally kicking my ass on the game. And there's one thing that he told me, and he was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He was only 13, but what he told me is stuck with me forever. So I'm crying. I'm throwing a temper tantrum. I grabbed the remote. I threw the remote. I was trying to fight him. I was with all the action because he was beating me 40-0. And every time before first or second quarter was over, he was smacking my ass on this game. And then he told me, he said, nephew, listen. He said, listen, stop getting so angry. Slow down and learn how to play the game. You just pressing buttons. And it dawned on me. The number one reason why he was whooping my ass on the game is because I didn't take the time to actually learn how to play the game. I only wanted to play when he got on the game. Now, what point am I making right now? The biggest point that I'm making to y'all right now is a lot of us get on, get so mad at these people, right? That know how to play this game called Wealth in America, that know how to play the capitalistic game, yet we are still trying to figure out and getting mad at the system versus learning how to play the game. We want this socialistic type of mindset without even being honest with it, right? And the problem is, we want everyone to take care of us because we don't realize how systematically that's been rooted in us since we were slaves. Like, let's just keep it a buck, right? And so you're so used to people taking care of you. So we want to be independent but dependent at the same time, which equals insane. Okay. The 3 I's, independent, the IDI, independent, dependent equals insane, right? So the deal is we don't take the time to learn how to master the game. So if I'm living in a new country, right? Say you go move to Puerto Rico, or say you go move to the UK. You're not from that country. The very first thing you got to do is figure out, how does this country operate? How does this government move? What areas can I go to? What areas can I not go to? Where do I have the best chances of thriving? Where do I have the best chance of succeeding? Who do I need to communicate that can get me the leg up? And how do I play the game to win in this country? You will go and do that in any new country you've never been in. But most of us have never taken the time to learn how to play the game in our very country that we grew up in and was born in. It's the craziest shit in the world. Like, we want to become absolutely financially independent, yet we don't even study the game plan or the rule books of how to become independent. So we're listening to people that are dependent about how to become independent, and we call that facts and get mad because somebody playing the system how it's supposed to be played. So when I saw that the Black Lives Matter movement popped off, I was actually impressed too as well. The only thing that I was upset at this system was the lack of preparation in actually structuring her organizational structure so that she never had to deal with this on a major scale. The reason being is because she was probably one of the first ones. Like, the Black Lives Matter movement got so big. Imagine creating a product that literally touches almost every country in the world.
You did some big shit right there. That's what I say. You can't hate on the marketing.
Bro, imagine creating a product that in Turkey, they painting your brand on the street, talking about Black Lives Matter. Let's understand it. It is a product. The problem that we have, and I got my points, is that we put our freedom in the hands of somebody else. That's why we mad. This Black Lives Matter movement, she gonna help us get our reparations. So we investing in funding and wearing the Black Lives Matter shirts because she's the one that God sent from the heaven.
She speak from the people. She for the people.
Yeah, she speak for me versus us learning how to speak for ourselves. She gonna be the one that get money back from the government, and then when she get money back from the government, we all is gonna be free. That's the reason that we upset. So when I saw what she did, I just kind of looked at a couple of things that we need to take away. Person number one, if you still got your notepad and you want to learn a little something. Person number one, if you still got your notepad and you want to learn a little something. Let me show you how big dogs look at it. I saw that they blasted her as far as how she spent her money. That immediately told me that her structure and how she structured her assets that were aligned with that brand were not structured correctly. She was supposed to, that's called nepotism. You're supposed to put your family on. You're supposed to go to your friend, your brother, your cousin who's security, your sister, your cousin, your brother that does consulting, and they're supposed to be put in position from what you did. So the very first thing that she did incorrectly, that's the only thing I would say she was at fault, was that she transacted everything through BLM. Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter was the holding tank. She should have had organizational structure that a certain amount of that money will go toward actual for-profit businesses that she controlled, that the Black Lives Matter movement had nothing to do with. Here's why. Because she created the movement. She created the product. She created the service. So you know what that means? She deserves to be able to control any funding because she did not force no gun to nobody's head for them to give their money to her. So that means whatever she was doing, they were investing in the brand that she created. So clearly in her bylaws of her nonprofit, she didn't have that focus. So this is what I want you to do. I want y'all to do some research, okay? Rolex. Y'all know the Rolex? Show the Rolex. So y'all see that Rolex? That's actually owned by a nonprofit organization. So Rolex actually has a nonprofit organization. Then they have for-profit Rolex companies that all send all of their proceeds to this nonprofit charity. And the nonprofit charity is controlled by the family that started Rolex. And all they got to do is spend 5% for charitable actions. And then all of that is legal in America. Let's talk about IKEA. Person number two, if you've ever went in or shopped at IKEA. Yeah. Guess what? That's owned by a nonprofit organization. Have any of y'all ever ate at Panda Express? Panda Express turned their for-profit Chinese food place, and they moved the ownership under the Panda Express Cares nonprofit, and all of the proceeds and funding gets donated directly to the foundation that they created. So the only thing that she did wrong was her organizational structure. Every billionaire has a foundation. Every athlete has a foundation. And if you operated correctly, you would understand her problem is how she structured everything. Black Lives Matter owned the buildings. Black Lives Matter owned those homes. That she should have just assigned it. Now, the second thing she should have did versus complaining, let's look at it as a case study. She should have created an LLC that is partnered specifically and solely for working with the Black Lives Matter movement. And that goal was her management company that was going to manage the funds of the nonprofit. And she could have created whatever fee that she wanted to pay herself that the management company could have owned outright. That's the only issues that she had. She got an organizational issue. And this is why what DG just said, people who know the game, whenever all this blow off, before it blows off, they going to fund her some more and then teach her how to properly structure it because of how she built a brand. Y'all, she built $100 million non-profit organizational brand, a product that's literally touched every surface of the world. Now, I want y'all to put this into perspective. If she was a publicly traded company on the Fortune 500, her brand would be worth $1.8 billion right now if it was a for-profit company on the stock exchange. That's how big this black woman built it.
Hey, I ain't even know that.
So what I want us to understand is we looking at da-da-da and we missing the whole point. The second thing, that was the first one, was understanding that our structure can be the demise to any growth that we have. That's why in the family banking cartel, that's why when y'all don't get these packs, y'all looking for the woo-woo and the rah-rah, and we teaching you organizational structure that will allow for this not to happen to you. Because a lot of us want the bag without the structure. Guess what happens? One person come and blow the whistle per se, and your structure out of order. Guess what you can't do? You can't even defend your foundation because this shit not out of order because you wanted the bag before you had the foundation.
Bro, I told him that shit last night. I was like, motherfuckers want a mansion but don't know how to clear the house. That's
Funds before foundation is a fallacy to your wealth. You understand me? Anybody come trying to blow the whistle on me, it's going to be immediate defamation because none of them know my organizational structure and they getting sued immediately. Okay, now, the second thing we must take from this, we need to create a product that has such great quality to it. There's a virality to it. It's a viral product. See, us black folk, right? This is what we like to do. We like to say that we're starting a black business because we think that it's easy to start a business if you just act like you're a black business for black people. Let's keep a spade a spade. A lot of these niggas online, and I'm not talking about niggas like God, I'm talking about niggas like the master used to call us. A lot of these niggas online with an AS, not a US, they just playing the black card because that's the only card that they can play where they can be able to feed their family. I say this all the time, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And it's easy for us to say, shit, I got a black-owned business that's for my black community. We're going to do black things because your ass can't create a product that's so superior that it goes compete with other demographics. So you want to go compete in the market that's already struggling. Fuck out of here. Y'all know I don't cuss like that, but I'm angry right now because everybody bashing this BLM woman, and she the one who set the standard for a lot of us to follow, and she showed you exactly what to do. And I'm going to talk about that structure, about what to do in a second, because it takes money to make money. And this woman was willing to put her money and her funds in these places to create attention to her brand. Now, y'all need to write this down because this is still number 2. When you're creating a vital product, you want to be black owned, not only. I'm not looking to be the best black entrepreneur. I want to build the best business, and I happen to be black. Why? Because if you got all these black entrepreneurs who are all starting to be entrepreneurs for the first time, the competition you have in your own demographic is already a lot. So you want to create a product that everybody wants to take part of, no matter your color, because that's how dope your crack is. Black owned, not only. I'm black owned, but I got a white partner. I bought out his insurance company. We're partners. He's a white CEO, 50 plus, that runs an entire white organization that's an insurance agency. It's completely demographic, and he and I tied it in tight. Why? Because I'm black owned, not only. I don't want my face on everything. I just want my name on all the papers.